Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make the shared maxi dress that I'm wearing, and if that's something that you like to see, definitely keep watching. It promises to be another fun and exciting tutorial, and I'm sure by the time you're done watching this video, you'll be able to make your own shared maxi dress. Enjoy the video, guys. To make your own shared maxi dress, you'll need the following items. You need a good pair of fabric scissors. You need your fabric marker or tailor's chalk. You need your smocking thread, and it's just like an elastic kind of thread, and this is the one I have. Unfortunately, it's black, but it works, and as you can see, it's stretchy. You'd also need your measuring tape. You'd also need your fabric. I've got this fabric here, it's about 2.5 yards. However, you can work with 2 yards or more, depending on how full you want it to be. And I've got my regular 1/2 inch elastic. Start off by folding your fabric into a manageable size. I folded my fabric into 8 in total because I folded it into 2 first, and then folded it into 2 again, and then folded it into 2 again, and that gives me a manageable portion to work with. Afterwards, go ahead and even out the top edge. So because I noticed the top edge wasn't straight, I decided to cut away about 1.5 inches or about 2 inches basically from the top, just to make sure that it's straight when I'm starting my work. Following the instructions on the screen, calculate your dress length. So for instance, if you don't want a maxi dress and you want the shared look on a short dress, you can definitely have it. All you need to do is add the half length measurement, which is your shoulder to waist measurements, plus your skirt length measurements, which is your waist to desired length. So whether you want your short length or your long length, you want to get the dress length measurements that you want to work with first. After deciding the dress length measurement, so for instance, if your dress length measurement is 42 inches, you will need to take away 5 inches to 6 inches, and that's because what you're wearing is now a tube dress. The maxi dress is like a tube dress, so you need to take away 5 or 6 inches, and the reason for this is because your tube dresses don't have a shoulder, so they don't start at the shoulder. Rather, they start from the armhole area. So basically, you can see where the red line is on the illustration. That is where your dress will start from. So again, you want to take away 5 or 6 inches from your total dress length measurement to get the measurement of your maxi dress. Alright guys, so for me, my total dress length is 54 inches. After taking away 6 inches because it's a tube dress like I explained earlier, I am left with 48 inches. However, you will need to add allowance of about 3 inches to account for the hem as well as the elastic casing you will make at the top. So basically, I went on to mark a total of 51 inches in length, and that's because of the length I wanted mine. If you want yours longer, definitely add some more allowance. And then I cut off the rest of the fabric, as you can see. So I'm going to put away my main fabric for the dress, and I'm going to work with the scrap fabric or the leftover fabric. From the leftover fabric, you will need to cut out 4 strips of fabric that measure 1.5 inches in width and then 20 to 25 inches in length. These strips will basically be piped and used to make the tying thing that you have on the shoulder, which is sort of like the straps. Alright guys, so as you can see, I've cut out my 4 strips, and this one's measure 20 inches in length and then 1.5 inches in width. So go ahead and pipe as shown. After piping the straps, this is what they look like. Go ahead and put them away as we will not need them until we're done with the dress. So moving on to the main dress, the next thing you want to do is you want to hem the top, or basically create the elastic casing. And the best way to do that is to hem by folding in 1/2 inch and then 1 inch as shown. Go ahead and create elastic casing by folding in 1/2 inch and then almost 1 inch and then holding it in place with pins. You basically want to make sure that you're doing this so that it's on the wrong side when you fold it over. Then go ahead and sew all the way through. After sewing the elastic casing, this is what it looks like, and as you can see, I went ahead to sew the whole 2.5 yards width of fabric. The next thing to do is to fold the fabric over and then mark the point where the shirring will stop, seeing as the shirring will not be done all the way down. So for me, the shirring will stop at the waist region. So I went ahead to fold the fabric into a manageable size so that I'm able to mark the portion correctly. So now again guys, remember that the shoulder to waist measurements that you have, for instance in my case, is 16 inches, but remember that we've cut off about 5 or 6 inches depending on what you decided to cut off, so you need to take account for that. So if your shoulder to waist measurement is 16 inches, you want to go ahead and minus 6 inches if you cut away 6 inches, or 5 inches if you cut away 5 inches, so you'll be left with 10 if you cut away 6 inches. So 16 inches minus 6 inches is 10, so go ahead and mark 10 inches from the top as shown. When smocking or shirring, it is advised to hand wind the smocking thread onto the bobbin as shown. So basically you want to make sure that you fill your bobbin by hand winding the smocking thread onto the bobbin, and you are conscious not to stretch out the thread. Go ahead and place the bobbin into the bobbin case, making sure that the bobbin is placed into the case anti-clockwise. It's very important for you guys to always place your bobbin into the case anti-clockwise, and then go ahead and fix it into the bobbin compartment. And guys, it's time to start shirring. I always start my shirring by running another stitch on the stitch that I had from, making the elastic casing. So I'm just going ahead and going over that stitch again so that my shirring starts from the very beginning. Go ahead and continue sewing new lines onto the fabric. And guys, I know it's a bit tiring and it's a bit long because you're using about 2 yards or 2.5 yards or more of fabric. So of course, it's a bit tiring having to sew through the length or the width of that. However, guys, I trust you, you've got this and you're doing amazing. It took me about an hour to get 2/3 of the work done. However, I'm almost finished, and as you can see, it's coming together nicely. The top is all smocked together. So guys, in case you run out of thread in your bobbin, all you need to do is hand wind some thread onto the bobbin and then go ahead and place the bobbin into the bobbin case. Some smocking thread, guys, not just any thread. And then go ahead and place the bobbin into the bobbin case and then go ahead and continue sewing. I would advise that you start sewing from an inch or two before the thread ran out, and then make sure you lock your stitches and then just continue sewing as shown. You want to make sure that you continue shirring up until the point where you marked for the waist region. So at this point, I am now done shirring, and this is what the dress looks like so far. Next, we'll need to cut up our elastic and then pass some elastic into the elastic casing. To know the amount of elastic required, all you need to do is take the above bust measurement, and if you don't know how to measure that, do check out the diagram shown on the screen. Then go ahead and cut off the elastic so that it's 5 inches shorter than the measurements that you've taken. So for example, if your above bust measurement is 34 inches, you want to cut out your elastic so that your elastic is 29 inches. So that means the elastic is 5 inches shorter than the above bust measurement. Attach one end of the elastic to a safety pin and then go ahead and feed it into the elastic casing. Be careful not to allow the other end to go into the casing as you push. When the other end is close to going in, you want to make sure to hold it in place with a stitch as shown. After stitching one end of the elastic to the dress to keep it from disappearing, this is what it looks like. So go ahead and continue feeding the elastic into the elastic casing so that it comes out on the other side. And after coming out on the other side, you carefully want to stitch it as well to hold it in place. So at this point, guys, we're done putting the elastic into the elastic casing, and this is what the dress looks like. Go ahead and pin it all the way from the top to the hem as shown. For this dress, it's important to mention that there's going to be only one joining, and that joining will be located at the side. The next thing to do is to go ahead and hold that side of the dress so that you have your dress fitted. So for me, I decided to do a formula that usually works for me, and what I do is I do half of my bust measurement minus 3 inches at the bust area, and then for the waist area, I do half of my waist measurement minus 3 inches, and I just mark whatever I have from the center front or from the folded edge as shown. Afterwards, go ahead and sew. However, there's no defined formula, so you can just go ahead and stitch all the way from the top to the hem to make sure that it's as fitted as you like it to be. After sewing, cut off all excess of the fabric as shown, and then go ahead and hem the bottom. I decided to hem mine while sewing the sides, and as you can see, this is what the hem looks like. If you would like your dress to remain a tube dress, at this point you are now finished. However, if you are like me and you would like to add the straps on, the next thing to do is to find the middle of your dress while laying flat. You want to make sure that the seam is at the side and then you want to go ahead and find the midpoint of the dress. After finding the midpoint of the dress, you want to go ahead and mark 4 inches to the left of one midpoint and then 4 inches to the left or to the right of the midpoint as well. So you want to mark 4 inches to the left of the midpoint and then 4 inches to the right of the midpoint, and then go ahead and pin the straps in place. You want to make sure you pin one strap to each side, and then you're going to repeat this for the back as well. If you're a size 14 to 16 UK size, I recommend using 4.5 inches from the midpoint, and if you're above a size 16, I recommend using 5 to 5.5 inches. However, not more than 5 to 5.5 inches, depending on what feels comfortable for you. Go ahead and sew the straps into place by sewing it at the top and at the bottom, and making sure to repeat for all 4 straps. After sewing the straps in place, this is what the dress looks like, and at this point your dress is now finished. You can decide to tie a knot at the bottom of the straps, or you can decide to burn the ends to keep them from fraying. But guys, at this point the dress is now finished and ready to be worn. Thank you so much guys for watching this tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope it was worth your while. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to share. Don't forget to leave your comment suggestions and feedback in the comment section below. Don't forget to leave your questions as well, because I love to read from you guys and I'll definitely respond as soon as I can. If you've not subscribed, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell so you don't miss out on the awesome content that I have for you. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.